Hi, this is Mona. Today I'm going to take this pillow sham that I purchased at this thrift store, and I'm going to make an iPad cover for this because I carry this around a lot and I need a little more protection because I'm clumsy. Let's get started. All right. I don't really have a pattern, so I'm just going to lay this on here. And just kind of eyeball it. I'm going to cut it right here. So I'm just going to cut along here. And just finish cutting all the way around. Okay, I've cut the binding off, took the lining off. So now I have my quilted piece. Okay, I found this fabric that I liked. It kind of matches, not really, but it's going to be on the inside and I like it, so that's what I'm going to do. What we're going to do is we are going to clip the lining to the main panel, right sides together. We're only going to sew across the top. So now I'm just sewing the lining to the main at the top, right sides together. And if you wanted to, you could put SF101 on here. I don't think I need it. Back stitch. And I still have my vinyl foot on because I'm working on another project. If you're adding a loop for a button, you'll need to add it at this step in the middle. And back stitch. Okay, now you'll have this. I've sewed my pieces together. Now I'm simply going to put them on top of each other, right sides together, clip all the way around, but I'm going to leave a hole in the bottom of the lining for turning. Do just a 1/4 inch. Back stitch, go to the end. I like to back stitch on the end. And then I'm going to go a 1/4 inch down this side. And back stitch again. Now when I get up here, I'm going to slowly go to 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to go back to a 1/4 because I'm coming to the main, and I'm going to back stitch right here and sew all the way around. Oh, I'm also testing out my new mic, so let me know. And same here, I'm going to back stitch. And go across the bottom. Turn. This is going to stay at the 1/4. And then I back stitch here. Now I'm slowly going to go to a half. And back stitch. And I'm just going to go, whoops, I need to go one more here. Oh, and it went back too far. All right, now turn. And I'm going to go over to here where, but I need a little more room than turning, for turning. Go to here and back stitch. And trim all your threads. Now, if you had a serger, if you wanted, you could go all around all the edges. I have one. It's not working at the moment, but I'm not going to do that right now because I will get tired of this before it wears out. So I'm just going to clip my corners in the lining. Same with the main. I'm going to clip my corners. Get off that bulk. Okay, now you could turn it inside out, but I am going to check first to see if I need any box corners for this. I don't think I do. I think I could just do it like this. So, and it will fit in just perfectly in there. But you know what I forgot to do? A top closure. Well, first of all, I forgot to put in my snap. So I'm not going to mess with that now. But I need a loop so I can sew a button on and use this. This is double fold elastic. About 4 inches. Cut it off. Now what I'm going to do is just seam rip a little hole right here. Insert the elastic inside the hole and then sew it back. All right, I'm just going to take a few stitches right here. Oh, I'm just going to shove this in there in between the lining and the main where it's right sides together. See, I'm holding the lining out of the way to shove that in there. And I'm just going to put it back in there. Come on, get in there, get in there, get in there. All right, that's good enough. Now, make sure that your other sides are not in there when you sew it. So I am just going to go right before I took out the stitches, back stitch, go across, back stitch. Okay, let me make sure. All right, I'm going to do it one more time because I went a little wonky, so I want to be on the same seam. Now back stitch. Okay, now it's in there. Now all I have to do is turn this right side out through the hole. So I'm just going to stick my fingers in there because I didn't make it big enough for my hands. And this doesn't need to have square corners. You could do it if you want, but it's not necessary. I'm just going to pull this out through the lining. And at this point, you're going to want to check for anything you missed. You might have went over too far, didn't get the seam. So I just poke everything out to make sure. So here is your loop for your button that you will put down for a button. Might have maybe made it longer. Now, all you're going to do is push in there the bottom of your lining for that hole and sew across. I'm going to add a little label. You wanted to sew your label to the outside, you would do that before you put it together. I just use these little fold over. I buy them on Etsy. And then I just stick it in there, put it together, and then sew. You could hand stitch it if you want to. I don't like to do that, so I don't know why I'm talking funny. Okay, let's make sure everything's lined up and straight and straight. Now I always check the back because sometimes I miss, and I didn't this time, so that's a miracle. All right, so now I'm just going to shove this back in, poke out my corners, get this all lined up. And I usually give it a good press all the way around so you can get it flat. And then I just need to sew a button on here. So let me get it pressed and then we'll top stitch all the way around and then I'll sew a button on. Okay, I'm just going to start here and sew all the way around. Make sure you don't sew through the other side. Okay, the top stitching's done. I've decided to use a heart button, so I'm just going to sew this on there. And when I sew, I'm only going to grab bites of this fabric. I'm not going to go through to the lining. All right, I've double threaded my knot, and this is how I make a knot. I go to the end, and then I just wrap it around my finger, pull it off the finger, and then pull. And this time it didn't work. And there's my knot, but I'm going to cut these tails off. Now make sure your elastic is going to reach without pulling too much. Right there should be good. Hold it. I go in here and just put a knot behind, like right where the thread's going to be. I just take a little bite, pull the knot, see if I can get it into there, and if not, I just pull another bite, go up in the button, and then I go to the other side. Take a bite. All right, now that it's there, I just keep doing the same thing. Take a little bite, go up through. And then I go down through, grab a little bite, go out the other side. And you can even go back in this side. Take a bite, go back up, go to the other side. Take a bite. And this way it is not going through your lining fabric. And then it's got a few on there, so then I like to go through the hole without taking a bite. So there it is. Now, I'm going to take my thread and wrap it around the button behind. And that just gives it so it's more room to, and then I'm going to go back up, take a bite, go up through the hole. You can find it. Take a bite. There we go. Then go through this hole. Take a little bite. Now, I'm just going to knot this off underneath here. I just take a bite, bring it through once, bring it through twice, and pull. And then I do that twice. So I'm going to go through again. Bring it through once, bring it through twice, pull, and then I'm going to take my needle and just shove it in there without going through the lining. I'm going to shove it through the top fabric and just bring it out on another side. Pull it tight, cut it, and there you go. Here's the back, here's the front. Oh, and by the way, this pillow sham cost me $1 at the thrift store, but if you have some you're not using, there you go. My iPad fits perfectly, and the button. If you don't have the elastic, the double fold elastic, you can also use a hair tie. That's what I normally use, is the hair ties, but I couldn't find them. So there it is. Thanks for watching.